I'm back, man. I've been gone for a couple months. I started this Soul Trigger Play series, roughly about 2 or 3 months ago. Um, and First, let me apologize for not finishing and completing it. I, in between that time and now, I was told that my first sermon was coming up, and so I took time to prepare. Anytime you're getting ready to stand up and proclaim God's word, you don't want to take that as some type of easy tag. So I devoted a lot of my time, the majority of my time, to just making sure that I was prepared properly. Just not something that you just want to stand up and just say, "Hey, I'm doing this." But anyway, on to I think I'm on trigger 3, and if you were able to catch my sermon, you understand where this trigger is going to come from. It's very personal to me because it was something that I dealt with very much myself, and that's going to be depression. A lot of times, when you think about depression, people, just like anxiety, try to make it seem as if there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm not going to get into all that. This is not me trying to convince somebody whether or not depression is real. I'm just going to talk about my personal struggle with it. So you can take from that what you want. I know exactly what I went through and why, what caused me to go through it, and I'll give you a little background on that. So back in 2005, I was playing college ball up at this school, Murray State, and suffered an injury in the last ball game. Now, if you're a former athlete or a current athlete, once you suffer an injury, the first thought in your mind is that you're gonna be able to bounce back. It's not that you feel like you're invincible or anything like that. You've been so accustomed to playing ball so long that you know that that's part of the game. You're gonna get injured or you're gonna get hurt some type of way. And so with this injury right here, this happened my junior year on the football field. So I had another year roughly that I could have played. But with this injury, it was an injury to my throwing arm, which I suffered, broke both bones and had to have 2 plates placed inside of it, which isn't bad. I broke my leg in high school, so had to play in it, bounced back from it very next year. No issues, no hiccups, better than ever. So in my mind, I thought same type of deal. I'm gonna be able to bounce back from this. We fast forward until this was in November, and I fast forward into December, roughly 2006, when I was supposed to be able to start back working out and really getting back to myself. When I hit my arm one time and realized that it had went numb on me, and not knowing if that was normal. I haven't experienced this injury before. I kind of overlooked it, downplayed it a little bit. Nah, it's nothing wrong with me. But it happened again. So you come to find out you got a little nerve damage in your arm. As I didn't know how to handle it. I'll just be honest with you. Didn't know how to look at the situation and probably handled it very wrong. But anyway, within the next couple months, man, I started realizing that my dream of college football, or even my dream of making it to the next level in football, was kind of coming to an end. Or, that matter of fact, it was at an end because of the nerves damaging my arm. At that point, the school that I was at, which was Murray State, I made a decision that I was probably gonna go ahead and try to get into a physical therapy assistant program, which that was something that I was very interested in at the time. But so me and that school, we parted ways. I come home. After getting home and not being in school, because I left like in the middle of that semester, because I had already started feeling bad, and things weren't going the way I wanted to. The rehab didn't work the way that I thought it was. So there I go. That's one disappointment. I get home to you try to get around family and things that you think is going to be something that help you be stable. Well, if you're an athlete, man, you love ball, and you're gonna want to play ball. You're gonna want to be around ball. And I was one of those that, you love the game, and you think, man, it's over. When it's over, it's over. You're gonna be able to function without it. And that was a lie. I lied to myself in that moment. Shoot, I end up, man, just working all summer, and going straight home. And in that moment of me not even going out, hanging out with any friends, not going to see anybody, man, I realized just how much of a slump I was in. And so it was just work, home, work, home, work, home. And man, it was nights that, you just sitting here by yourself, not talking to anybody almost every night all summer. And I know that sounds crazy, but man, it's tough when you've been so accustomed to living a certain lifestyle. And I ain't talking about money. I'm not talking about having this type of asset or buying this, buying that. I'm just talking about ball, being an athlete. It's tough when you lose that game. It'd been different if I was able to just say, you know what, my career is over with, I'm going to retire. But, it was kind of taken from me. It was cut short, and it was something that I just didn't really want to deal with. So, man, I was in a deep slump. I said it in my first sermon, man, I was in a depression like no other. I really wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't even really talking to a whole lot of my family. So, not even realizing that I was in it was the problem. A lot of times, and I've come to find out, a lot of times people are depressed and don't even realize that they're depressed. But anyway, later that year, and this is the magical part of what I'm telling you, man. Just because you're going through something like that and it has you down and you don't know how to function in it, does not mean that you have to stay in it. And there's scientific ways, medical ways that people are being able to take pills or dealing with therapy to help get them out of states of depression or anxiety or whatever they're dealing with. But for me, I never had to go that route, and for that I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I didn't have to go go for any type of test and to realize that's what was going on. Just kind of figured it out, and God worked a miracle through me, man. With me, for me. It came down to a point where I was struggling with myself so much that I wasn't even sure if I was going to go back to school. I was working at a factory in the meantime, probably about from March to August of 2006. Trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. I knew I came home with the mindset I'm going to be a PTA, but man, the love I had for the game just wouldn't allow me to go that route. So just start praying, and ended up submitting the application back to Mississippi State, where I originally started my career in football. So I got in Mississippi State, and let me tell you something. Let me tell you just how good God is. I shouldn't even been able to get back in Mississippi State because the fall semester 05, my grades sucked at Murray State. And all I had was withdrawals of 06, man. So my GPA wasn't the greatest. I'll just say that. But man, by the grace of God, I was able to get back in at Mississippi State. And just to show you, I'm telling you, and I'm just going to use a Bible verse for you. That I fall in love with every time. It's gonna be from James 4, and it's just talking about submitting yourself to God right here. And I promise you, when you do something like that, you're going through something, you're struggling with something, that's the person that you need to turn to. I'm not knocking a therapist, I'm not knocking a psychiatrist. They're great. And God blessed them with their gift to be able to help you. But you first need to be able to turn to Him. So in James 4:7 through 10, it says, this is coming from the NIV version. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Come near to God, and He will come near to you. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. That last verse right there in 10, James 4:10, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. See, a lot of times we try to do everything on our own. We think, man, it's all my fault. I got myself in this situation. I need to get myself out. You know, that's a good attitude to have, but you got to understand, why not allow the one that has all power to help bring you up out of that situation, to bless you in your situation, no matter what you depressed about, whether it be some bills, your kids, your husband or your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever you may be dealing with. Whether you battling against this chemical depression and you can't seem to shake it and get away from it, man, God can do all of that. That's the one you got to be willing to trust with whatever situation you got going on in your life. So, man, when I look at verse 10 right here, when it says, humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. You know, understanding that I was in such a deep slump of depression right there, deep pit of it, that I was struggling with, you know, myself, my self-confidence, my just self-awareness, and knowing what direction I wanted to go in my life, what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, you know. And at this point where I am in my life, I'm 36 years old, man. In between videos, I had a birthday, so I'm able to just sit here and be transparent with you. A lot of men are gonna be scared to admit that they deal with stuff, that they go with stuff. They feel like they gotta submit this strong front. And I've seen people talk about how a man ain't supposed to show you he weak and all this stuff. I'm not weak. I'm not weak at all, man. I'm walking in such a faith that God has given me the strength to be able to be transparent in you, not in weakness, but in strength. So y'all can continue to sit around and think, oh man, he's showing how weak he. No, I'm not, man. I'm strong as I've ever been right now, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So man, don't, as a male, or a female, don't think that you're not able to just go out and just trust God with everything you got. Trust him in your finances, trust him in your home. And like, you know, a lot of times we allow people to steer us in the wrong direction because we trust in man so much. You know, trust God. Trust the one that has given you life. Trust the one that has your best interests at heart. You know, like I said, all things work good for those who love the Lord. So, you know, that's what you got to get to when you battling depression, or you facing some type of anxiety, some type of stress that's causing you to be in a slump, or to be angry about things. You know, when I was in this period of depression, man, little things ticked me off, because nothing was going right for me. So it felt like, man, I could see people and they was just had everything going for them. It would tick me off because at that moment, nothing in my life was going the way that I thought it should go. And it took me a moment to realize that God had other plans for me. So here I am thinking I'm going to go be a PTA and I'm missing ball and all this stuff. And when I get back in school, I enrolled into the teaching and coaching major at Mississippi State. Wasn't playing. Wasn't like I went and was like, hey, I think I'm going to do this. But God steered me in that direction. And I never looked back, man. I'm talking about making better grades than I ever made in college. I'm talking about straight A's, you know. Man, it was such a blessing that, you know, once you start walking in the light that, or in the direction that God wants you to go, things seem to work out a whole lot better for you, because now you're walking in God's plan for you, and you're not trying to write your own plans and go in the direction that you see fit. And so, man, my advice to you, if you're dealing with anything, if you're dealing with anything from child issues, or stuff that might just be way from your past 15, 20 years ago. And you don't know how to get over it. I would try God. It's the most powerful thing that you can do right now. Just prayer, constant prayer, seek God's face relentlessly. Never give up on trying to seek Him, man. I promise you, once you seek Him, He will come back to you, and things will turn around in your life. So if you're dealing with some depression, some issues that's causing you to be depressed, and yours might not be as bad as mine, man, don't think that you got to be going through it like I went through it, or yours might be worse than mine. Whatever it is, I promise you, if you would just try God and humble yourself before God, man, and just tell Him that you want Him to create in you a clean heart. Just renew you in Him. That's all you got to do is give God a chance, and I promise you, things will work out better for you. I'm gonna say this, and just if you don't have that relationship that you think you need with God, just give Him a try. Give Him a try. You need to reach out to me. Again, man, y'all just reach out to me on here or Facebook or whatever y'all want to do. Just give God a try. And if I can help you in any way, I definitely will. God bless you. Y'all have a great day.